the 7 communities, alhamdulillah. So having said that, let me actually move back to the agenda, and I want to switch over to the orientation presentation, and we had a couple other items after the presentation. So let me go back here and switch to the presenter mode. So as we all know, the actual project title is Equipping Muslims with PCOR-based Action-Oriented Research Tools. And that's what EMPART stands for. Every single word in this title really is a loaded word. So I would recommend the team to look into these words. What do these means? What do these words mean? And how do we incorporate these into our actions, into our the work that we do? So inshallah, as we go along, we will start to unravel each word session by session. So now here is I'm going to start with the patient-centered vision of PCORI. PCORI, you are familiar with the website. You're now familiar with that it's an institute. We would actually be getting to know PCORI a little bit more and more as we go on session by session. This is primarily the orientation session, so we're just going to go over some of the very basics, laying the foundation here. So let's start with the vision. Patients and the public have information they can use to make decisions that reflect their desired health outcomes. So in the eyes of PCORI, it's the patients and the public, and it's the dissemination of information that they are really looking to accomplish from this institute. Now, Mosque PCOR mission is actually, or vision, Mosque PCOR vision is actually missing. We don't want to create a vision just out of 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 organizations. Mosque PCOR is a big umbrella mission, and it incorporates the entire mosque community. So when it incorporates the entire mosque community, the vision should be created by the entire mosque community. At least the major stakeholders should be involved in developing this vision. So we want to have this vision organically emerge as we come together in our action and intentions, and we visualize the impact that we want to create. So that's the very important thing. We need, as we carry on our mission, this will automatically emerge, and you will see that answer. That's the beauty of PCORI. Alhamdulillah, and actually having things organically emerge is the beauty of a methodology. So we're going to move forward, and we would decipher what the word methodology means as well. The PCORI's mission. PCORI helps people make informed healthcare decisions and improve healthcare delivery and outcomes by producing and promoting high integrity, evidence-based information that comes from research guided by patients, caregivers, and the broader healthcare community. So the key words here is that evidence-based information, and it needs to be guided by patients and the caregivers and the healthcare stakeholders. And that's what we are looking forward to. We're looking forward to creating engagement in these 2 different entities, the stakeholder community and the research community. Here is the Mosque PCOR mission. So the Mosque PCOR mission has actually 3 main components to it. Now, the vision is not there. You're going to say that how the mission comes before the vision. We know what we are doing, right? So as we know what we are doing, but we may not know, all of us, where exactly we are going. So it's the final endpoint that we all have to come together to create. But pretty much all of us who are doing mosque healthcare programs, almost all of you are involved at some level in healthcare programming, and you are trying to engage the community. But very often we have about 4 times the healthcare volunteers that we have, and very few people who we are helping out. So it's that engagement piece which is missing, and that's what we are bringing together with this particular training program. And that's what you guys are going to learn, how to be impactful in your engagement. So therefore, the Mosque PCOR mission is to engaging mosque community members and stakeholders in identifying Muslim health priorities, developing a cohort of Muslim community-based researchers with the skills and motivation to conduct health research and evidence-based health programs, and adapting PCOR tools for use in mosque-based research. These are the three components of Mosque PCOR mission. So we have to keep in mind that all of these three components we need to keep in mind and be aware of as we go through this journey of becoming a community health worker in our communities. We all are community health workers. You know, our organization has been doing community health work, and I am a community health worker for the past 10 years. Likewise, Dr. Padela and Dr. Johnson, they're all community health workers because as we are stakeholders in that community health work. And likewise, you would be embarking on the journey of community health work. Okay, here is something that I would like everybody to look into. I don't know, and I want to have, either by the show of nods or, sorry, hang on just a second. I'll tell you what I'm doing in a minute. Am I logged in? Oh, here. I want to know from the show of nods, and some of you have turned your cameras off, or you can put it in the chat. Let me know how many people attended the PCORI conference that happened this month, and I mentioned that in the last. Okay, very nice. Okay, so I'll tell you guys that very nice. So some of you actually attended, and some of good news is the entire PCORI conference is actually, every session of it is online. And I would highly encourage every one of you to go back and listen, definitely listen to Dr. Lisa Cooper's presentation. She was phenomenal. Also, there were a couple of sessions exactly about community health workers and the work that's going on, bridging research projects and the community partners, especially patient partners and caregiver partners. So that was the information out there is extremely useful, and it will help you. It will help you in your path, not only for this particular program, but you can literally design your entire career around the concepts that were delivered in this particular conference. Pretty much every year, these are the very basic concepts. They will build on these concepts, and as you move on in your journey of healthcare delivery of services, whether it's clinical or public health, you will these concepts and these actions or programs are going to be extremely useful, enlightening for you. So they actually had parallel sessions going on, about 4 of them at the same time. So literally the 2-day conference goes on for about 4 days or 8 days worth of solid online education from that platform. So again, I would highly encourage each one of you to go back and listen to each of the sessions as they go on, and especially the community health worker sessions. Any questions, comments? Let me know. Here is transitioning back from this particular slide. Why is this important, and why am I asking you guys to go back and read through it? part of the reason is that's what PCORI is looking for, not just PCORI. That's what the evidence-based research, whether it's NIH, whether it's AHRQ, any of the research organization that's out there, that's what they are looking at. They're looking for patient engagements, and they're looking for that community. So this is part of the reason why our project has been funded as well. And so we were funded for the eMarch, engaging Muslim communities, and now we are funded for the dissemination of the toolkit. So let me walk you over as to what are they looking for in us, because funders fund for a reason, always. And once you in tune yourself with what's going on out there in the evidence-based community, there would be no dearth of work for you as a public health worker or public health researcher. There is plenty of work out there, and you can make an impact. But you got to be in tune with what's going on outside in the government bodies, in the policy-making bodies, in these federal agencies like PCORI, like CMS, like NIH, and you need to in tune your career goals with those institutes. We're going to learn more about it as we go on in our sessions, but I just wanted to transition you guys that our journey for the past, this is our third year now with PCORI. So we started in 2017 with the eMarch project, and we developed a cohort. That particular project was engaging Muslim activists for research on community health. And there were three main things that came out of that project. We developed a cohort of Muslim community health leaders. There were 14 different organizations across the nation that participated, and now they have the capacity to actually work with patient engagement and with PCORI. We developed the toolkit. That's what you would be learning about. And then we actually had a conference in October of 2019, last year, with the Muslim Stakeholder Conference. Over 200 people attended that. And we did, it was all about evidence-based research in community health environment. And we had phenomenal presentations in those at the conference. The proceedings are out there. There is some keynotes are also there, present there at IAM's website, Dr. Padela's website, which is the Initiative of Islam and Medicine. And there's all the project details that you can't find on the PCORI's website, you can actually find it at the IAM's website. And I will share that link with you as well. There are other projects going on at IAM that actually engage Muslim community, and all of you can be a part of that. You can volunteer your time for any of those projects that are out there. It's a wealth of knowledge. So transitioning from eMarch, into the dissemination of the toolkit mode. So the toolkit that came out, now we needed to let the larger Muslim mass community know about it. And EMPART, this particular project, was funded for 1 year to disseminate the toolkit. And so the biggest challenge that we had for the engagement was that what would be the method of engaging, or what would be the first level of engagement by which the Muslim community become aware of the PCORI methodology or PCORI's engagement strategies. And by utilizing the very same principles that PCORI uses, we can actually, we're actually taking that approach of disseminating this approach that you would learn in this program, you can use to disseminate any of the information that's out there. So the toolkit is extremely important, every bit of it. And as you would go on in every session, there would be 16 sessions, and every session would teach you something or the other about the toolkit. They will teach you how a community health worker, whether it's Dr. Padela, Dr. Johnson, or myself, or even you would take the evidence-based research forward and disseminate that into your communities. So the EMPART project fulfills 3 objectives. It is dissemination of the toolkit, strategizing with the mosque communities and academic researchers to better conduct patient-centered research with a patient focus. And so this is strategizing pieces where we look for your help. We look to partner with you. Because you are a link, you are a very important link between your communities, between your mosque communities, between academic researchers and the toolkit. By developing capacity for the toolkit, developing capacity for the patient-centered outcomes research, we are empowering you to take this message out there in your communities. Once you are adept in these tools, you can use these tools to administer and deliver many messages, and can be a part of many different evidence-based research projects. So it's not just that you would understand this toolkit, you would also become part of the mosque communities. And Dr. Padela would go in length and in depth with the details of the mosque communities and what exactly that means. And the third item would be that we are looking to do is, again, another conference coming up in June. We're very much looking forward to it. More than likely, this conference is going to be virtual so that many people can get engaged across the nation, because this is also a pilot project. We're setting a stage for community health worker program in mosque communities, the way we did that with the EMPART project by introducing an evidence-based research in the mosque communities. Okay, moving on. Let's see the basics of the project. So what exactly are some of the very basics? What's the component of the EMPART that we are engaging everybody in, and especially as a team, we all would be working together. Definitely, you are much more engaged with Dr. Padilla and Dr. Johnson during the training piece, which would have started in September and go on till October. When they are delivering these sessions for you, I would tell you guys one thing: you would have about 30 minutes in every session to get answers from both Dr. Padilla and Dr. Johnson about work on community health. Please use your time wisely. These two are wealth of experience and wealth of knowledge out there that is coming to you, and they are dedicated for that hour and a half to you guys. So ask questions. Prepare your questions beforehand. Make sure you understand the previous session, because all the 16 sessions build on each one on top of each other. So if you don't understand a concept, if you don't understand anything, make sure that you have your notes beforehand, and make sure that you are ready with your questions. Maybe you want to post your questions beforehand on the social engine as we move forward. And so in about 1 month, we're really looking to have all of our community health workers research team as literally are prepped to do research in community health. So going back to the components of our project, we have the recruitment that's taking place in August. Now we would be going into the training program. After the training program, from October through February, we're going to be working on the outreaching the communities. So all of you have your primary community, although you are outreaching all the communities at the same time, but you are building contacts, and you are building connections with the stakeholders within your primary community. And this primary community, as you would see when we move on into the project, you would see that it's based on basically cultural relevance and language relevance. So that's where we have found out that the community health research makes the most sense when those cultural competencies and linguistic competencies are factored in. So because of that, you would be working on your community to building contacts, to building a stakeholder trust, to bringing transparency to the stakeholder community. However, you are outreaching virtually pretty much to the entire greater Chicagoland area. And once you are into the training program, we can figure out that who is going to be outreaching when, at what time. The outreach is happening virtually, it's online. Your commitment to that online is being available online at that time. So you are committing your time to be online during that time period. That's what the outreach means. So that's happening from October. Basically, it would be happening end of October, going on through February, the end of February. So about 4 months there. In March, you would be actually conducting a community town hall, and that will be virtual, definitely, because number one, it's not too far in the future. Number two, it's also more towards winter than summer, and we think that the virtual modality would be the best way to go for the town hall. And because of all of the work that you are conducting, or the experience that you have gained over this period of time, through the training and through the outreach, you are actually you have made a lot of connections, you have made contacts, and you have now developed a competency for engagement, and that you would be providing the evidence of your competency, or lacking the word there, by doing a town hall, basically proving your competency through a community town hall. That's what I want to say. And then you, in June, you would be actually working with the entire team towards the conference, but you will have your piece to present at the conference as well. That's where you are sharing your experiences and your results from perhaps from your community, and your lessons learned in your own way. So we will decide that your presentation later. We don't know what it looks like. We have no clue. And all of you are very talented people, by the way. So if you may have different ways of presenting it, start thinking about it as you go through this journey of training. Think about what would be your best method of presenting. Some people are good with words, some people are good with videos, some people are good with presentations, some people are good with graphs. Whatever means, media and method that you choose, display yourself as such, display your talents and skills as such. And I think that's the richness that you bring as a personality, and as with your knowledge base. Each one of us is very unique and very engaged in our own ways, and I see that as we conduct these the community health research virtually, the amount of possibilities that come together and the amount of education that we can provide to engage the community out there, the possibilities are limitless. So we can explore all of these things in our journey and have fun, because I'm really looking to have fun in this. And I really hope that you all do too. I'm going to go over the details of the training program in about a bit, but let's look at the final product. So this is the end product that we are looking at. We are looking at the healthcare professionals. The healthcare professionals are, all of you guys would be trained in community health work as MOSC P-Core community health workers. Not just the community health worker aspect, but it's a MOSC P-Core community health worker aspect. And you will get to know a lot about this in about, I want to say, in about 15 days. The second objective is the Chicagoland area mosques will become hubs and national models for P-Core activity, generating a culture of patient-centered health research, programming, and diverse stakeholder engagements for improving community health and reducing health inequities. The third goal that we have from this end product is actually patient caregivers, MOSC leaders, health clinics, systems administrators, researchers, and others will be trained in the MOSC-based PCOR toolkit and gain insight into its implementation through a 2-day conference. So not that we are looking to engage and disseminate this patient-centered knowledge in you, but as you go out and work and provide the community health work in the MOSC communities, you are going to make whoever you come in contact with, you're going to promote this awareness to them, whether it's MOSC leaders, whether they are MOSC health workers, other health workers, whether they are healthcare providers in the MOSC community. You would encounter physicians, you would encounter hospital systems, you would encounter pharmacies, nurses, patients, caregivers, people who are running ancillary healthcare provider businesses, such as non-medical caregiving companies, home health agencies, pharmacies, people you would find in doing in pharmaceutical research. All of these people, you would actually be disseminating this patient-centered awareness through you to them. So think about it becoming a hub that with you, this message is being delivered. We would also be doing surveys, measuring knowledge and skills in patient-centered areas, and we would be analyzing those surveys. Now, as a CHW, a community health worker, the goals are that you can define the core big data categories used by researchers, which is population health, health conditions, health factors, health priorities. What do these mean? How do you get to those things? Because that's how you start to generate impact. So essentially, all community health work is all about impact. What does it translate into? We can do as many healthcare programs as possible in the MOSCs and in different communities as a small projects, but exactly what is the impact at the end of the day? How do we measure this impact? Have we been able to dissipate some of the health disparities that we all talk about? So that's where we are going. Know the three golden rules. And Dr. Rebecca Johnson is going to tell you all about it. You're informed about data sharing processes and analysis. You know how to access and interpret data results. You have pledged, and then you have pledged to continue. And your pledge to continue will come in the form of you being PCOR ambassadors, that you become engaged with the research process. And in the next few sessions, you're going to find out how to sign up as PCOR ambassadors, how to become part of that patient-centered mode. And then you can identify community assets, because as we move on, you're going to see that there are so many assets within your own community, and you can help other people by simply aligning these community assets. And that's what we are going to be learned through community asset mapping. So it's going to be a really wonderful journey. And these are some of the these are the 6 basic community health worker goals that would become your personal goals, and you would be getting this at the end of the training session. And then you would go on to practice these as you go on for the outreach activities. So we're gonna now talk about the project deliverables for you personally. So there is this MOSC PICO, and some of you have actually talked to me about the remuneration and what are the timings and how you would get remunerated. What is it that you're looking for? Time commitment versus your versus the now PCORI does not when PCORI actually offers they have their own compensation ways, and they are pretty strict with how, and they don't want anybody to go without compensation when they fund the project. So part of the reason is and compensation comes in many different ways according to PCORI. It comes in the form of training. It comes in the the form of competency building. It comes in the form of being a participant of a product like a toolkit. So there were many people that were acknowledged, that were part of the toolkit, and their names have gone in as acknowledgements. And now you have the chance to become participant for the MOSC PCOR tool, for the MOSC Community Health Worker Training Package. And the amount of input that you have, the feedback you provide, you may be even providing feedback in terms of modifying the actual sessions. So each activity will eventually become a module for the training program. And once we have delivered this training program, where we'll be looking to develop a train the trainer model in the next step. So pretty much all of you will have the option of becoming part of the train the trainer manual. And this is these publications are going at a national level. So developing a competency in not just what we have talked about in community health research, but also how to deliver your message at a national level in the form of these publications is another competency that's going to come in as part of your remuneration. So it's or as part of the compensation. It's not exactly a job, but these are invaluable compensatory methods that may not have a dollar value attached to it, but they would be giving you back at every single step of the way in your career. And we really sincerely hope that you make use of these things. For the outreach, virtual outreach part of the virtual aspect of the MOSC community, for those months that you would be providing, it comes out to be about 8 to 10 hours a week. So from November through February, you would be able to split those hours up, or you can do it the whole day. However you guys decide to come up with, we will do a doodle poll the way we did for the training, and that's when it would be coming out as $1,000 there. And the town hall preparation and the virtual hosting, that's what it is, and $200 each for each one, and then presentation at the conference is $75. So each one of you is actually would be hosting one town hall. So that's, and you can be a part of the other town hall, and as a preparation, you can help other people, but you would be responsible for hosting one town hall for you, involving the stakeholders in your primary community.
Fatima, sorry, this is Asim. Just to clarify on that outreach, I'm asking questions that perhaps the group is too shy to. So the outreach, that's the larger part of the remuneration. Are there interval metrics that you want to see from the group, or is it like all or none?
Yeah, yes. So the outreach will be explained on let me actually tune myself back to the group's faces. So the outreach will be defined, and it would be laid out in a step-by-step way while during the training sessions. So there is we do have the website. We have the social engine where people can chat. The community members can chat with them. There's also a phone number that will be available. So the community health workers that are assigned for that particular day to be online, they would be in tune with the phone number and chatting. So they have to make themselves available online, completely focused towards the community. So, you know, when you are doing things virtually, a lot of us tend to do multiple things. That's not what we are looking for when we dedicate our time to virtual outreach. We dedicate our times and we don't do anything else during the virtual outreach. We are there in tune with the community. Whatever questions they are asking, we are interacting with the community. We are perhaps making even new connections while we are online. There would be other people that would be online, and there would be dialogue going on. And very honestly, if I don't see any other person from the community, you'll definitely have the Worry-Free Community as a staff being online and asking questions. So you would definitely have plenty of interaction opportunities there. and because we don't want to miss out on the learning. Is that, do I need to explain anything else? So please feel free to ask me questions and stop me. Okay, so I apologize for the font there, but let me actually try to yeah, so if you see it on my screen, I actually, so this calendar will be available to you guys on the social engine, but it would start, and we will send this a schedule out after this meeting. So the sessions will start Saturday, October the 3rd. That's the first session, 1 p.m. to 2:30. And then we have a break on there are no sessions on Sundays, and there are no sessions on Fridays. So that we have sessions 5 days a week, Saturdays, Mondays, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursdays. So during the weekdays, most of you mentioned that you're better off from a 5 to 6:30 p.m. session. So that's what we are going to have, and we will be going on to, so we have 16 sessions, and the last session will be hosting, inshallah, on October the 24th. That's Saturday. Okay. And here is the timeline. So let's look at the timeline here. This particular, see how we have distributed the PCORI dissemination and implementation is actually that itself is a strategy. And after implementation, they also have adoption and the measures for adoption. So we're not going all the way there, but we are definitely at the steps of dissemination and implementation. So while you guys go to PCORI engagement, there are actually toolkits for patient engagement. There's a toolkit for dissemination and implementation. There's a toolkit for evaluation and adoption. So there are all these different toolkits that have been posted by PCORI's staff, and they look for very specific outcomes during each phase of this engagement cycle. So there was a lot of pre-grant work that went in. By the way, we still have the mosques will be signing the memorandum of understandings and data agreements, and we would do that with your help, so that you can get used to the process and the mosque get used to you interacting with them. So we have, that's the entire engagement is all about. Engaging all partners in every step of the way. So the way timeline goes is we have June and July, August, and we have almost September is gone. We have the kickoff meeting. The big kickoff meeting is still coming up in October, towards the end of the October, when you would start to engage the mosques. That's when we have found out that would be the best time to do it. We had the engagement as a starting point. However, we want the connections to be there between the community health work research partners and the mosque communities. And that can only come in when we have introduced you to the mosque community, and you have introduced yourself to the entire team. So knowing and introducing is a big part of that kickoff meeting, so that we can engage with each other and engage with the actual activities. And therefore, we moved that over to the end of October, because by then, most of you would have the understanding, or pretty much all of you will have most of the understanding of what does it mean to engage with community engagement, and what does it mean to engage a community. and do the patient-centered research in that. So that's what's happening, developing community health worker training, conducting the training, and then weekly outreach goes on from October through February, hosting the community health town halls and hosting conference and evaluation. So performing data analysis from assessment mapping, evaluating data from conference, transitioning the project into the program, and these pieces would come in towards the end of the which is, we're talking June and July. So, but definitely the conference is coming up, inshallah, in June. So we're looking forward to it. And if any of you would want to be involved in evaluation, performing data analysis from assessment mapping, and evaluating the data from the conference, by all means, let us know now, because that's all part of engagement research and community health research. So we would be pretty much, setting the foot from, or having the end in mind. That's, by the way, habit number 2 from Stephen Covey. Now, MOSC assignments for stakeholder identification. We have, as I talked about, the primary communities. So you're doing the outreach. Pretty much, 2 people or 4 people are involved in the online outreach every day, and you are answering everybody's questions. However, your primary community may be different, which is that we have these 6 areas. In the Bridgeview or the HRF community, we have about 2 different communities there. So that's why it becomes 7 communities. But generally, both of those are Arabic-speaking communities, so I plug them in as one community. But these are the 6 communities we have: MCC and MEC, which is the Muslim Community Center in the North Side Chicago, or the Muslim Education Center. That's the Morton Grove, Elston. Those are the 2 big mosques. Then you have ISNS, the Mosque of ISNS, Rolling Meadows. There is a majority of, and that mosque has all of these. There are about 5 mosques in here, or 6 mosques. Actually 7 mosques that have shown interest and provided support letters to become part of this project, and that is why those become the hub for our outreach. So we would be connecting with their communications department. Since this is virtual, we would be engaging with their listserv. We would be engaging with their newsletters. We would be, because most of these mosques are still not allowing people to come out and meet with the musallis or the patrons that go there on a regular basis. However, we can engage with everybody and at a much larger level virtually once the word goes out. So these are the 5 communities. We have north side of Chicago, we have northwest side, we have west side, southwest side. Southwest, we have 2 different places, and then we have the south side of Chicago. So again, all of you have a preferred community. I have somewhat idea of allocating or connecting you to a particular community. You may or may not agree with that, and if so, we may decide to work in a different manner. So each one of you can pick out one particular community that you prefer, and then we can all be at a consensus there. Okay, any questions that you have at this point? The next session would be October the 3rd. I'm very much looking forward to it. Tuning back into you guys. Any questions that we have?
Can this PowerPoint be shared with us?
Of course. Thank you for that question. I would actually post this PowerPoint right after this as a PDF document on the social engine. And I can also send it out to you to your emails. Yes, Andy, we would be assigning the mosque. Not that we would be, I want to assign the mosque. I have a general idea of where, because of your geographical location, I see you guys in those communities. So I have a general sense of it. And so you are actually in the north side of Chicago. So more than likely you will have the north side mosque to your leverage. That's what I'm thinking. Any other questions? And thank you, Dr. Johnson. You agreed. You agreed. Lisa Cooper was great. Dr. Cooper is just an amazing session there with her. By the way, we think that the next PCORI conference is probably hybrid, so you can register even now.
Yes. So you do need to register to see the keynote, but it's free. So you just have to. That's the way you need to go in. Yeah.
I have a question with regarding to the stakeholders, the health stakeholders. So are we gonna? Is it going to be our responsibility to reach out to like physicians and healthcare workers in our communities, or is there like already people that you have connected with and you're just going to connect them?
So both. So we actually have quite a bit of a list from the community that we know that are primary stakeholders within that community, but there are a lot of different assets in your community residing that we have no clue about. And they may not know that patient engagement is a way to actually connect with and serve the patients in your community. There are many assets that are sitting there. So with you as a liaison within your community, they will get to know about these resources, and you will get to know, and we can all disseminate the information across board. Did I answer you that, Asim?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions that we have?
Do you want to tell them that they're going to be getting the survey soon?
Yes. So this the surveys, we are diligently working on it. Alhamdulillah, inshallah. You're going to be getting you will be getting a pre-assessment survey, and that actually that's going to take you some time, by the way, to fill out. So take your time on that. It would be delivered online, so you will take your time. And filling that out, it actually gives us the idea of our program, of the competencies that are already there, and how much of this program has really made an impact. So we want to know what did we do right and what did we do wrong? Also, what kind of an impact is this program can create on the community? So it's very important piece. It would be lengthy. I'll tell you that now. You may find that, oh, this is going to take some time, that maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes, depending upon how long it takes you to think through those questions. And just answer those basic, I mean, it would not be too technical, but it will be somewhat, I want to say. So you will receive it before Saturday, or right around Saturday, inshallah. Anything else? Yes, actually, there is a recording for this session as well. Again, I tend to go on and talk too much. So just the 10-minute session came out to be 50-minute session, right? But again, it's just because so that I don't forget anything or I haven't explained enough. And it will be available on the actually we will put that recording also on the blog of the social engine, so you can pretty much, you don't have to worry about being it available on the Google Doc or not. We will be there shared with you on the Google Drive, but you would also have it available on the social engine. You can access it anywhere. And I really, really appreciate everyone's time, especially Dr. Johnson and Dr. Padilla. It's such a support, and I feel it gives me comfort to know that we are all on the same page. Thank you so much. That's a huge, really kudos, because I know how important it is. Very difficult for you guys to take the time out, and thank you very much. And of course, with both Brother Saif and Brother Nabil as well. I know you guys are very busy, extremely busy, but thank you for taking the time out to attend this.
Well, thank everybody, all the CHWs. We can show up, but if you guys don't show up, then it doesn't matter. So thank you for all of you who are going to play a critical role as the implementers and executors of this project. So jazakallah khair, everybody. I'm going to have to pop off for another meeting, Fatima, so I apologize. I'll see you all my sorry, take care.
No problem. Thank you. So I have a question from Dr. Johnson, that if you guys are interested in city data mostly or metro. So there is a difference between the city and the metro, and suburbs are actually called rural. I found out not too long ago that this is called the suburban data is called rural data. So tell us which are you, where exactly your interest in data is. Anybody who I can have an answer? Oh, thanks, Mohammed.
Yeah, I think that's where it's partly my ignorance. I'm not sure. Are all the mosques that you're talking about partnering with within the city of Chicago?
Okay. So no. So Dr. Johnson, we are actually, there are primarily, I want to say, 2 mosques that are, or basically 1 mosque, which is MCC, which is right in the city. And or perhaps Noblest is as well, the south side. The rest of the mosques, for all technical purposes, from the epidemiology purposes, they reside in rural areas. Literally, even as much as any suburb, they call it rural. So, of course, Andy, we know you're interested in city and Cook County. You'll have plenty of that data.
I'm curious too, Fatima, do we collaborate with like the Iman Center at all?
With Iman Center? Good question. Iman Center is not a part of this particular project because we were picking out mosques. So Iman Center is actually more of it's actually a federally qualified healthcare center. So this is probably, we are looking to, if we go, inshallah, if we go to step 2, perhaps then we want to involve the federally qualified healthcare centers. Absolutely. But some of the community health workers that are that we work with today actually do work with Iman Center.
Thank you.
We actually have recently analyzed our access to care data, the worry-free communities, and so some of the data comes from that part of the city. It was interesting to see.
Yeah, no, that's good, because I can identify where the source, where people can go for sources. Because yes, it is a similar thing with the Baptist churches, is that some of them were just outside the city area, but everybody worked together. So yeah, that's helpful. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, we would be working with both suburban and the Chicagoland data, because for example, MSI, or where we have our hub, worry-free communities, we are the farthest west in this. No, Bolingbrook Mosque would be the farthest west in with in this project, and that's about 40 miles southwest of Chicago. So I think we would have the data on both for both ends, the rural as well as city. So I would want to end the meeting in the next couple of minutes. If anybody has any other questions, last call. Okay. So if nobody has any questions, once again, thank you everybody for being part of this, and really appreciate everybody's input on this. And then we are looking forward for everybody joining in on Saturday, October the 3rd at 1 p.m. My colleague here sitting here telling me good luck. Thank you again, everybody. Good. Thank you again. Jazakallah khair for coming in.